Well, hey there guys, welcome back to another video. Bit of a odd intro you might say. Decided to come out very early morning. I've got the 7 foot angling direct 1.75 test curve rod with me. Going to fish out on low resistance leisure setup with a single boilie approach. Now the lake that I'm fishing is a very quaint lake. Now do forgive me, I will get some scenic shots as I fish through the early hours of the morning and to daylight. It's come out for around 4 AM, so with the short nights it won't be long before it does get light, but you'll have to forgive me if you don't see too many scenic shots if I do catch a few fish early on. But I promise you throughout the video you will obviously get a good glimpse of the lake that I'm fishing. Now as I say, I'm going to be fishing one leisure rod, which I'll try, but I'm feeling the swim that I'm fishing, because it's quite shallow across this particular bay of the lake, or this end of the lake, and it's lightly silty, not so silty where the leisure rod's going to go, more silty where the float rod's going to go. Now I am a bit worried due to it being quite shallow if the fish are going to, one rod's going to spook the other, but we'll play it by ear and see. As I say, I might chop and change and just bring the leisure rod in, may use it, might not use it, might just sporadically use it, and if I find one rod's interrupting the other, it'll get removed. But that's going to be, on, as I say, on the Advanced Angling Direct 1.75 RVS ambush rod. That's a 7 foot rod, not the 5 that you see me use, but the 7. I've had barb on this particular rod with the pin, and I'm using pin on that as well with the leisure. Low resistance running rig set up, 10 pound main line, 10 pound sink braid hook link. Now I have used it for my barbel fishing, and I've caught barbel to over 10 pounds on it. It's a wonderful rod. I honestly can't get my head around how good they are for the price, really. I know, you know, how far money doesn't tend to go these days, and I've got to say, yeah, they're really, really good for their budget price. Anyway, my other rod, what I'm going to be fishing, is going to be on Waggler fishing lift method on the Centrepin. I'm going to be fishing 6 pound line because there are tench in this lake. There are some nice carp as well, and I do want to be able to handle those. Now the rod that I'm using, which you've seen on a lot of my videos, is this one. That's the TFG 10 foot compact float rod, and it's getting on now, this reel. I've had it a long time. I've repaired it a little bit, but still runs great. That's a Marco Cortessi, that's a Mark 1. They don't make them anymore that I'm aware of. Anyway, so I'm fishing that lift method style. The Waggler that I'm using is a 2.5 BB. Now I'm going to start off with a couple of BB just to actually set the actual weight over depth on the actual lake bed. Now obviously, if you guys who don't or haven't fished lift method before, you do want to plumb the depth of your lake. Make sure, which is what I've already done. I did that on a few trips back, actually, funny enough, and yeah, found out that it was quite silty. So I'm going to be fishing 2 BB shot, just a little bit over depth. I'm going to be fishing bread flake, sweet corn, lobworms, keeping it simple, keeping it with those good old classic baits that tench do seem to like, and obviously carp do too. Now the setup, as I say, I'm just fishing with the lift method, 2.5 BB Waggler, small insert Waggler. I'm going to use a little night light to start off with because I've got about an hour before proper daylight, you know, rears its head, maybe an hour and a half actually. So I don't want to be missing out on a little bit of bonus fish as it's getting light. Now, as I say, 2.5 BB insert Waggler with a little glow stick chemical light attached, just laying on lift method style. And I might change from the 2 BB shot that I've got, because what I like to do when I do lift method fish, if I go slightly more over depth, I like to have one shot near the hook, one shot further away. So usually fish 2 lighter shot. Now most people when they fish lift method, they'll fish 1 shot. What I like to do is, if I'm, as I say, fishing over depth, is almost like you would do if you've seen drennan isotopes. You usually put 2 on, one at the tip of your rod, one further back, and you can get some identification of how strong a bite is, and that's what I'm doing by putting the 2 little shot on to begin with. But as I say, I may change from that. I might just switch to a larger SSG shot. But I do like that kind of method, especially if you're fishing slightly more over depth and you want to show how critical the bites are as the float lifts up. As the fish lifts the second split shot up, you get more of a pronounced lift than you would with a single split shot setup. Anyway, that's the sum of it. As I say, got 2 rods with me. May fish the leisure for a bit, may not, may chop and change, may fish both for a little while, but going to be fishing, as I say, leisure float fishing with the lift method, and fingers crossed on this rather quaint, albeit shallow in places and silty little lake, there may be a few welcome tench and maybe the odd carp about. Ah, nice little juvenile tinker, beautiful bite. Float just lifted and then sailed away. Oh, how about that for a perfectly conditioned young tinker? That's a mao, as you can tell by those powerful spoon-shaped paddles. Not a massive fish, but I tell you what, you just don't know what's lurking in lakes like this. So, ooh, looking forward to getting the bread flake that was on. I'm looking forward to getting another little lump of bread flake out there. Very nice too. As I say, not the biggest you'll find, but certainly always nice to have that first fish of the trip. Very nice too. Right, so there we go, there's my setup. Got a little insert waggler, little glow stick chemical light in there. A couple of, these are Maver match these grip stops, but you can use whichever you fancy. You can use the Drennan grip stops, which are equally superb. Leading down to there. Now you can see normally you'd only have the one shot. That's a size 10 Pallatrax, the hook that I've got as well. Normally you'd only have the one shot, but what I like to do is, as I say, space it out. So I'm fishing over depth along here, so this is laying on all this. But by using the two shots, you get a double effect of how severe and serious the bite is. So you get the one lift, you'll get a slight lift, you get them both lift, and the fish is really taking the bait. Then you'll get a more pronounced ejection of the waggler. It's a really nice way to fish the lift method. It's not the typical classic way, and I may indeed change to that later on with just a heavier shot, single shot near the hook. But as I say, I do like fishing it like this. I do like to give it that kind of approach, which, as I say, is like fishing two isotopes on your rod tip, whereas you get one bite, that top isotope with tap 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 tap, and you get a more serious bite, whoom, they both go round, and this creates that effect with the lift method with the float. How about that for cuteness personified? What a picture perfect, beautiful juvenile tench. Absolutely gorgeous. You don't know, I mean, I don't know fully what size the species are in each of the categories, what size they go to in this little lake. It's nice to see some youngsters of these fellows. Look at that. What a beautiful little young tinker. Oh, looks like another juvenile tinker. You know what, he's tail wagging as well. Oh. Well, there we go. It's another proud dorsaled, really frisky and rebellious juvenile tinker. Seems to be quite ahead of these younger chaps in this lake as well. Off he goes. Nice just to be out, nice to be catching, and nice to find a lake that there's actually a head of smaller tench. A lot of the lakes that you guys see me fish, if I'm catching tench, they're usually a large stamper fish. So it's all really exciting to me, really exciting, because I don't know what's in here. As I say, I know that there's tench and carp. I don't know what mix of carp there is, but I definitely saw a few dark shadows lurking. Definitely rudd and predators, as I've seen shoals of rudd scattering. So yeah, might even be crucian carp in here too, I just don't know. Anyway, let's get the rod back out, shall we? Oh, there we go. That gave me the run around on the old Centrepin, I tell you. Just fishing lift method there. Beautiful bite on bread flake. You know, just float just lifted and then sailed away. Yeah, very nice too. Lovely conditioned tinker. Beautiful scrap. Very welcome, especially from a new water. Lovely. It's in cracking condition as well, as you can see. Beautiful. Let's get it slipped back. As I say, it's just taken on the lift method with a nice bit of bread flake. Very welcome. Another spirited, scrapping young tinker, methinks. Yep, sure well is. How about that for a proud dorsal? Feisty, another feisty youngster. I think there's quite a few of these in here. I'm going to have to fish through them a bit to get through to the better ones. When I say fish through them, I'm absolutely loving it, to be honest. It's nice to see a head of juvenile tinkers. Picture perfect. Absolutely wonderful and very, very feisty and spirited. Hard scrapping considering the stature. Good fish, guys, good fish. God no. In the net, you. Oh, Chernobyl chub, it's a grassy. Woo! What a fish. What a scrap on the light line and the lift method. Oh, look at that for a chub, eh? A Chernobyl chub. Grass carp, obviously. As I've just said, I am absolutely off my top at the moment. What a fish. What a fish indeed. Oh, come on. What a corker. Let's get it weighed. A couple of stills, let it recuperate and slip it back. Wonderful. Absolute beast of a grassy on the little TFG float rod and Centrepin lift method bread flake. Well, I can't complain, can I? What a wonderful trip, and I've packed up now. But yeah, it's nice catching all those juvenile tench. I tell you what, they are so pretty, absolutely cute. And took a while to get through those to get to the better stamp of tench, which was nice to have. But heck, that grass carp, oh my. I tell you what, I still think I'm just about calm enough to ride home. My legs are still wobbling though, I can tell you that. What a scrap. And yep, you're probably wondering what the weight was. It was 19 pounds. I said 20. I tell you what, talk about a solid fish. Cool. It reminds me of a tuna with like a super-sized body of a chub. I tell you what, that was some scrap. To really feather the pin there when it first took off, instantly laid the float, you know, flat. But yeah, what a scrap. But yeah, during the trip I did chop and change between the 2BB shot, laying on with those, and an SSG. For some reason, once the breeze got up a little bit, I was feeling it was towing a little bit, if that makes any sense. Even though it's shallow, it just weren't giving me the same presentation, so I did switch to SSG, and then back to the BB, and then back to the SSG. I do some funny stuff at times, as you guys know, but yeah, it does pay off. I can assure you it's not just madness. I hope you believe me. Anyway, yeah, and another thing, couldn't decide what chemical light I liked more. I got an old packet of Aldi chemical lights because I use isotopes mainly when I'm on my leisures, and I broke the blue one. Thought to myself, that don't look very bright. Obviously I got them at a good price and I've had them a bit too long, so I ended up breaking the green one and chopping and changing between those as well. I amaze myself at times. It's like musical chairs. But yeah, it's absolutely amazing grassy. 19 pounds. And what a scrap. I tell you what, that was heart in mouth stuff. It's not deep in front of me. I mean, you're in the margins, you'll be lucky if you're scraping 4 inches. Further out, yeah, where I was fishing under the tree here, it's about 18 inches maximum, maybe 22. So you can imagine, light line, TFG compact float rod, Centrepin, and a 19 pound grassy on the end. Oh, talk about try and put me to the sword, but I gotta say, it was one heck of a scrap, and I was very pleased with the outcome. That's a personal best grassy for me as well. So yeah, very, very enjoyable. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm going to be biking home. I just pan around to my bike because I know some people probably won't believe me. There you go, bike's just over there. So I am going to head off home. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, do consider giving it a thumbs up, if you have enjoyed it, that is. And if you're not subscribed, do take time to click the subscribe button, the bell icon, and you'll be kept up to date with all my latest uploads, and also a healthy back catalogue of older ones to work your way through. Well, what more to say? Hope you're enjoying your own fishing, and wherever you're casting a line, I hope you're getting a good bend in your rod. Maybe not, I hope it's not as cardiac inducing as the bend that I had in my rod off that grassy, or maybe it is. Anyway, what do they say? There's bad types of stress and good types, and I think that was the good type. I think so. I'm trying to convince myself it was a good type of stress. No, it was wonderful. Anyway guys, I'm wittering on. I'll catch you on the flip side on another Fishing for Memories video. Take care and see you soon.